I just have to say, welcome back. We're pretty excited about this episode, if you didn't already know.
Yeah.
But this is Tron.
And I'm Tremaine. and he's got his Survivor buff up.
I do. I found it in the closet. I'm like, oh, I'm going to break this out for this episode.
All right.
But yeah, welcome back to the Amazing Survivors podcast. And this is episode 7.
Yeah, episode 7, season 47.
It's 47. Here we go.
Should we get into this?
Yeah, because this is probably one of my favorite episodes I've seen in a very long time.
Honestly, my favorite tribal council I've seen in a very long time. Usually they're pretty straightforward and boring, but this was fun. So
this is fireworks.
So let's get into it. So
they come back from
tribal, and Saul's doing a bit of damage control with Andy because Saul wrote Andy's name.
Okay, I have an issue with this right off the top.
Yeah. Are
we not anonymous voting?
Yeah.
How does Andy know it's Saul?
I don't know.
That is bonkers to me. Because Saul, it's an easy game. It's just like, I didn't write your name down.
Yeah.
That was Rome.
100%.
Sorry, I wrote Rome.
100%.
So,
and I love where he was like, okay, like I wrote your name down because I really thought Rome had an idol and he was going to play it. And then like I'd go home or something.
Yeah.
And so then Andy's like, so you were expecting him to play his idol and for me to go home?
Yeah.
And he was kind of like,
Didn't think that all the way through.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just annoying. Like, how do you know he wrote your name down?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand that.
But then he throws Sam under the bus and he's like, Sam said that you were the backup. And like, I don't know, like two things. Like if I was Saul, I wouldn't say Sam because like, they're kind of tight. And
well,
like,
you should.
Yeah, and then second of all, like Andy, like, go check with Sam on this. Like he just kind of believes Saul. I'm like, okay, I get this.
Well, probably wild. In the moment you have to believe him, and maybe he did go fact check later on with Sam, which you should.
Yeah.
The other thing that's kind of patronizing to me is when everyone comes back, they're all hugging. Hey, good job, you made the merge.
Yeah.
Dude, if I was there, I'd be like, duh, I know I'm going to make the merge.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. To me, maybe that's just my ego talking, but it's like, the goal is not the merge.
Yeah.
My goal is to win this.
But it's just like a fun, like,
I don't know.
It's a good, like, point to, like, measure where you're at.
Yeah.
I'd be stoked to make the merge. Like, obviously you want to win, but it's like, okay, made the merge. Okay, now, like, what's next?
Well, now, coming back to Andy, they edit it like he's up all night doing all these calculations and whatnot. And once again, our girl Genevieve coming to pick up the misfits.
She's smart.
She is killing it, dude.
Yeah.
I think, like, if she keeps playing this way, she's winning.
Yeah.
She is doing so good at picking up people and, hey, let's get something. Let's do something together.
Yeah, 100%. I think she's great and, like, seeing him there and, like, picking that up. I think there's a few others that it hasn't shown, but she should pick up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think she's kind of crushing it.
Yeah, she's doing awesome.
But she was like something like she was sad to see Rome go. I'm like, no, you weren't. Like,
dude, that's your number one. But you have to be so happy. Like, okay, I can cut away from this anchor that was going to pull me down, and play my own game.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Which you already were.
I can't remember when this was said, and I don't think I have it written down, but it just reminded me of this because I'm thinking about her game, and I'm like, yeah, she's playing a good game. Like, just keep grabbing these people, and then they go home, grab another one, they go home. And I think that's like a pretty good case for like the end, like the questions with the jury. But someone was like, oh yeah, you got to make a big move because like big moves are what win the game with the jury. I'm like, no.
It's Caroline at the end.
Yeah, I'm like, no, it's not. It's the stupid sob stories that win the freaking votes from the jury, and it pisses me off.
Well, here's the thing. Genevieve's in, as you were saying, pick one person.
Yeah.
If they get voted out, pick another person. I feel like Genevieve is positioning herself in a way that she's just like plug and play with players.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it's great.
I'm just going to surround myself with people who they want to vote off.
But,
and I'm going to be there at the end going, yeah, I wrote your name down. And guess what? Yeah. I surround myself with you guys to insulate myself from them coming after me.
Yeah,
And
I
now
think
how
it's a
many here at
great
the end?
strategy and a great
Yeah.
play, but she's also going to need to have like a good reason why she needs the money.
Well, what would you say?
I don't want anyone. I don't even think that should be a
I know.
question.
I don't either.
Like,
Like that's.
I think it should be all about your gameplay.
Yeah, I also agree with that. But
Whatever.
so they come back and it's day 13,
Mm-hmm.
and pickleball makes its debut in the conversation, at least for Survivor.
Yeah.
They talk to Sue, who's never played pickleball, but she
Yeah.
does play racquetball every day. So,
Good job.
so that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Kind of fun to see that they brought pickleball in. And then the girls get together, or at least some of them,
Yeah.
and Teeny wants the all-girl alliance.
Which it was kind of a weird little edit, at least. But she seems stoked on it, and Tiana seems stoked on it, and no one else is really like saying anything. And I can't even remember which other girls were there, but
Rachel was there.
Yeah.
At part of the edit, it looked like Sue was there,
Yeah.
and I'm like, Sue's
Yeah.
not going to be on board with
No,
that.
no.
Gabe.
No,
Especially after
I think
watching
was
this.
Sierra there too? I can't even remember. But it's like
maybe.
it's like it was like so funny because it seemed like Teeny was so into it and Tiana was biting on it and like no one else. Everyone was just kind of like, yeah.
Well, I feel like in those situations, yeah, you agree, but
Yeah.
then you're like, yeah, we're getting them out.
Yeah,
They're done.
100%.
I'm going right back to my boys and like,
Yeah.
hey, we have a new target. Let's
Yeah.
get them out.
Yeah, right?
And so, I don't know. I feel like sometimes, especially so early in the merge here, you really just have to play under the radar,
Yeah.
get it down to like 8, and then you really have to start making some
Yeah,
moves.
play under the radar and set up moves for later on.
Yeah,
But
it's chess for a reason.
but
not
some
checkers.
of these people are just trying to go gung ho right off the bat.
I know, if it's like they want to hit a home run every at bat,
Yeah.
and it's like Babe Ruth ain't the best
Yeah.
because he hit home runs all the time.
Right.
He got on base.
Yeah, and Teeny also was kind of like, oh, that was excellent. Like, I got rid of my amulet. We got rid of Rome, and people played the amulet on me, and I'm like, yeah, what?
Well,
Like,
they should have, because you
Yeah.
should have negotiated that on the island.
yeah, right.
Duh.
Like, I'm like, A, your amulet didn't matter who you played it on, and B,
Yeah.
like, it's not like everyone was like, oh, let's play it on her because we need to, or like,
Yeah.
I was just,
Kind of dumb.
I don't know. I feel like she's grasping at things.
Trying to get a good
Yeah.
at it.
Yeah. But here we go.
Right to the
Challenge.
challenge.
I actually liked how they set this up. So the challenge was you had to be on that balance beam, holding this big pole above your head with a little
Disc?
platform there and a ball, and you had to balance that ball on there. It would have been hard, man, for like a long time.
Oh,
You'd
yeah.
get so tired, and then
Well-
you had to active transfer like from sections of the balance beam.
Yeah. And it looked like the balance beam progressively got thinner.
Yeah,
Um,
and like little like smaller sections.
yeah. And so I love how they split it up with the rocks.
Yeah.
It's,
So
it's
two
rough.
random groups. You just get the
Yeah.
groups. The whoever is the last person standing wins for their whole group.
Immunity.
They win immunity and the reward, and then the last person standing on the losing group gets a single person immunity, which I thought was like pretty cool too.
Yeah.
I like that.
And they've done this before in past seasons. But some people have brought up like, well, that kind of sucks because like you've all made the merge,
Yeah.
but you all don't get the feast.
Yeah.
But I like
like
the
it.
way that it's going because it's like you have to earn every inch
Yeah.
in this game.
Yeah.
So I do love that they're staying true to that as far as Survivor goes.
Yeah.
But man, Rachel, if I was her, I'd be like, suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was all of Tuku and Rachel, and then it was Lavo
the rest
and the
of
rest
Lavo
of
and
Gala.
God.
And I would have been. And I'm sure she was. She was like, holy crap. She's like, I got to win this, or like, they're for sure going to vote me off if we lose.
Oh,
like,
yeah. For sure. And so I'm not sure how long they stay in each section. It looked like
I don't know.
Probably about 5
Sierra
minutes.
stayed 5 seconds.
She sucks. She sucks at challenges, dude.
Just dropped it right off the bat.
Well, the thing with this is it's kind of like making the ball, because that platter has an edge on it.
Or was it Andy? Did she drop? Who
I
dropped
think
first?
Andy
Andy
first.
dropped first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
Andy
he's
dropped right
terrible.
off the bat.
But Sierra
And
was
then
not
Rachel
ball.
and Sierra like right
Yeah.
after that. Yeah.
But that platter has an edge on it. And so it's really all about positioning that ball against that edge just slightly.
Yeah, because
So
you don't
that
want
way
it
it's
in the
balanced.
middle, because
No.
then if you tilt it all, then it gets some momentum. So you want it right on that edge.
Right on the edge. And then at least you can put that pole on your head
Yeah.
and rest it on there.
Yeah,
but
at least
that
you
is
can
going to
do
get,
that.
oh man, just holding like this
Yeah.
and trying to like keep that.
Yeah.
It's going to be uncomfortable.
It's gonna be so uncomfortable. Oh, it would be.
And then I feel like as they transition, it's really keeping your core tight and just sliding that front foot and then sliding your back foot
And keeping that ball against the edge where it's at. I would lean it down this way so it's on like the far edge.
Yeah.
I think that would be the easiest way. But
yeah.
yeah. So it goes. Yeah, Andy drops first, then Rachel, then Sierra. Like all of God is just like losing here. Then we got Tiana, Saul, Sue, Gabe, Caroline, Sam, and then it comes down to Kyle against Teeny and Genevieve, which I was kind of shocked that Teeny was in it till the end. And then Kyle drops and they win. But so Kyle gets individual immunity again, which
that's one of those things where it's just like, yeah, you want to win, but at least you're secure yourself so that you can at least push your agenda a little bit, even if you go to tribal.
Was pretty huge for him, I feel. On this.
Yeah, because he would have definitely been an easy one to push. Like, hey, he's gonna win a few more of these challenges.
Right. Yeah.
So, but
sure.
I'm sure Rachel on the bench now is just like, suck. What am I gonna do? Yeah. I hope at this beach there's immunity idol waiting for me.
Right. Which the winners talk about when they're eating dinner there. They're eating dinner. So the losers had to go back to like Lavo's camp or something. Yeah. So the winners are eating and they're like, I bet there's a immunity, like an idol at the losers camp. And
because the amulets got played last time, so there's got to be another one coming in.
But then the whole time they're talking about that, the camera keeps showing that right next to Saul and the planter, there's some advantage.
Well, it's been forever since they've had an advantage at the reward. Yeah. Speaking of the reward, I don't know if you noticed this. So they all get there, and it looks like they all have like a root beer or a beer. Yeah. Did you see? They all go to cheers. Andy's bottom is full of sand, and it just trickles all across the food. It's like, of course, George Costanza would do that and just get sand on all the food for everybody.
That guy.
If nothing else, he's entertaining and fun to laugh about. Yeah. As far as that goes.
That's for sure.
Oh man. So like the reward, they get barbecue ribs, they get potato salad, corn, some soda. Yeah, it looks like they pounded it. Yeah. And here's the other thing, like, didn't some of them just eat the day before? Yeah. So it's like, sweet, I'm gonna eat again. Yeah. This is where Survivor gets like,
and okay, some of them should have eaten a chicken a few days before that, but they didn't.
Oh, for real. So in this part of Survivor, if you can win, it's not that hard. Like I feel like you can start regaining your strength.
Oh, for sure.
Pretty quickly.
For sure.
And just start pounding it. Yeah. But I can only imagine once you stop eating, like you get full, it'd be hard to stay awake.
Oh, for sure. So like everyone's taking a nap. Yeah. Kind of passed out there, and a couple people are kind of like, oh, let's see if we can find an idol thing.
Andy, Mr. George Costanza, right at the top.
But then everyone's like on to him. But I thought Saul did a good job. So Saul sees it finally. Yeah. And he just kind of sticks it down his pants.
Yeah. Well, I think Saul went about it the correct way. Like, he was drinking something, trying to get something else to drink while he's looking. Yeah. He like gets up, does some stretchy. Yeah. But it was interesting that they put one in. Yeah. And Yeah.
Which I thought it was a pretty interesting one too. So he can't use it, but he can give it to any of the players that are going to tribal council, and they can either, I can't remember, block a vote, or they could just be
or it's called
safe without power or something.
Safety without power.
And so they just leave tribal council.
Yeah.
They can't get voted for. They can't vote or anything. They just go back to camp.
And I love that advantage.
Yeah.
Because it can change the game so big, and you see it
so fast, for sure.
You see it
for sure.
Because Rachel, she comes back at the Lavo tribe. She's like, "Hey, you guys, I know you gotta talk, but I would also like to talk with each of you." Yeah. And she's just trying to.
I thought she played it well. Like obviously, like you're really the odd one out here, and so she's just talking to everyone. Tiana brings up that it's a good time to get Gabe out, so she talks to a lot of people about that, and
she really brainstorms with Carolyn,
and Kyle,
and like with Carolyn's like, yes, I see that, but
because Tiana's whole thing is if we vote Rachel out, they all have the numbers and they're just going to pick us off one by one. But then Caroline, as you were saying, it kind of brings up another point
that Rachel is the best she's seen. Yeah. And she's like the one that brings she's like the glue for all the girls. And so it's like in a way they can both be right in their point of view.
Yeah, for sure.
And you are kind of stuck in a rock and a hard place, because it's like, which way do we go? Because we're kind of screwed either way.
Right. But to Caroline's point, she's kind of like, if we vote her off, though, they're going to start with Gabe and Kyle. And
we can jump in with the girls.
Yeah. And we can make it through this, which I kind of agree with. I tend to agree with her more. Yeah. So. But it's interesting strategizing going on. If you're Rachel, you guys just feel kind of like bummed because you're just like, oh man, this is going to be hard.
Yeah. I just got on the wrong side of the rocks.
But then people keep telling her like, hey, we don't want to get you out. And so it's giving her hope, but you never know until you know, right?
Exactly. Well, also, if I was her, like, hey, we're going on a walk and I'm trying to find an idol here. So I'm not gonna hide any bones about that. This is what I'm doing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you guys say you want to work with me, but I really need some. It's like, okay, give me your shot in the dark so I can play it for myself.
Right.
Something.
So, I mean, a lot going on at the with Lavo and Gada at the dinner. They're kind of like talking about Tuku, like whittling them down. So it's already on people's mind. Yeah.
Like,
for sure.
That's exactly what I would say. Yeah. Like I would try and have someone else say it for me. Yeah. But I'd be like, I'm totally down with that.
Oh, for sure.
Because that's going to make your chances 1 in 6 instead of 1 in 11 now. Yeah. Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take those odds.
So at this dinner, just make this 6-person alliance.
Yeah.
Just assuming Rachel's going home, and then
run with it.
Just go with it. Yeah. Just
and even if Rachel does come back, vote her arse out.
Let's get them all done. And then when you get back, you make some side deals.
No big deal. Yeah. So, it's entertaining.
Yeah. So then we go to tribal council. And there's a lot going on there. Like,
oh my gosh.
So, everyone's just chatting, like, what's the plan? And Rachel's like, oh, I mean, people were giving me hope, but I don't know. And everyone was just like saying very like shady stuff. So you couldn't tell like who was voting with who. And
it's the typical Survivor answers of they're gonna give Jeff enough so he doesn't ask follow-up, or maybe he did and we don't see that, but they're gonna give him enough to go, I'm gonna answer your question, but
not to blow up their game.
I'm not gonna blow up my game, and I'm gonna send out enough information so yes, I'm still part of the plan. We're in the we, not the me. And man, like Rachel's gotta be sitting there like, okay, well, now I have the scroll in my bag. I can't wait for Jeff to say, let's vote.
Which is like the thing, like it didn't tell you who Saul gave it to.
Which I liked.
Until she played it basically, and we went through this whole tribal with like people talking and stuff, and then she's like, well, I literally got this 30 minutes before we came here.
Yeah.
I'm playing it, and I'm taking the safety without power and leaving. So question for you, number one, would you have taken that same advantage if you're Rachel?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Hands down.
Like, because I'm betting on myself, and if I get 3 more days or 2, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what you guys do now.
Yeah.
Because I'm safe.
For sure.
And I'm getting out of here. Because
As she said, sometimes you just have to play the long game. Sometimes you just got to make it through the night.
Exactly. So. And that's, as we've seen so many people, especially like last season, going home with an idol in your pocket.
Yeah.
Hey, you got it. Sometimes it's better to just play it, and you just make it one more.
For sure.
Survival of the fittest.
I agree with you on that one. Okay, in Saul's position, would you give it to Rachel? Who would you have given it to?
For Saul, yeah, I probably would have given it to Rachel, because now at least you have 4 Gata and 4 Tuku coming back.
Yeah.
And so now you can really, since there's only 3 of you, you can really bounce in between. Mm-hmm. And you also know that Andy wants to get Gata out.
Yeah.
So you can work that with your advantage. So yeah, I probably would have given it to Rachel, because you want to see that chaos happen.
Yeah, for sure.
And here's the other thing. Saul, you really didn't have to play like you didn't know.
Yeah.
You could have just
like,
done it.
Whoa.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
What's happening? Really, you could have just, well, that's cool. The question now is, the next one, how many people on that, 6 people, are like going to go up to Rachel like, oh, I sent you that.
Yeah, right?
And now, is Rachel going to be smart enough to go, really?
Yeah.
Okay, what was the other advantage I could have picked?
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be a hilarious edit in itself.
Oh, I think it'd be great. Yeah. And I mean, if I'm Saul, I'm talking to her and being like, hey, that's me. Let's team up.
Here's the thing, like, I'm almost in the category of, I want to see. I'm only going to bring that up if I really have to, because how awesome would it be for Saul to get to the end with Rachel and go, the only reason you're sitting here tonight is because of me. And she'll be like, how so?
Yeah.
That would be...
I can see what you're saying, but like...
To get there,
it's
going to take a while.
Get there. And so, yeah, I can see what you're saying. It just needs to come out when it needs to come out.
Yeah, if you need a number like Rachel, you owe me one.
Yeah. So
please vote with me.
I mean, I feel like if Saul's smart, man, you just you get like Andy, Rachel, Genevieve, you, Teeny, like, and you just kind of like get rid of a bunch of people.
Yeah.
But,
so
we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess on the other side, it's like, hey, you might as well play as big as you can and go up and solidify that and go, listen, I sent you that in good faith. Mm-hmm. I saved your butt. Yeah. Let's work together, because I feel like we can really go far.
Do you think if she didn't get that, she would have been voted out?
Yeah.
I do too.
Because on the Tuku side of things, it's a pretty easy pitch to the whole tribe. Like, guys, I understand we'll be going back and it's going to look bad, but we all want to make the jury. Yeah. We don't know how things are going to play out. So we could still find an idol, because guess who has one? Sue. That's right. Sue still has one, so if they get wind of something, they can blow that up and make things even. Also, Andy can get pulled over. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's take out a Gata. Easy. Like, and so I feel like easy pitch to the tribe case. Yeah. Guys, let's get her out and let's move forward. Yeah. And see what happens.
For sure. I mean, so that was like my favorite part of Tribal is when she bounces, and then everyone in Tuku was like, "What the f? Like, what are we gonna do?"
Suck.
And so everyone's like scrambling, just like chatting with each other. Like,
well, I'm kind of surprised. It's just like, well, even if she had an idol, like, who are you going to pick? Yeah. You know, and Gabe's like, yeah, you got to go back and what was the plan? But it's like, you didn't. I don't know.
Gabe
Sometimes
was
it's
kind of annoying me this episode. He was just talking about, I'll go to Rocks, I'll do this. I'm like, okay, dude, like
you're not going to Rocks.
yeah, like come on, man.
You're gonna hope for a rock like Rachel did and get screwed. Yeah. I don't know. It's it was fun, but I feel like Tiana's gonna look back and kick herself because I'm sorry, if you're the first one sitting down, you're the one going.
Yeah, she just like sat down, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, she talked to Sue and Caroline like, oh, I'm locked in with the girls.
And then she just
then Gabe and Kyle come and talk to him,
Yeah.
and you see Sue going over by herself with Gabe.
Right.
Get up and fight for your life.
No kidding. And yeah, so
and
it showed
Caroline's
that
not
people are
locked
just
in.
chatting on each side of her, and she's just sitting there.
Well,
like,
and that's the other thing. It's like you see Kyle and Caroline. I thought Kyle was like your number one.
Yeah.
Get up and go talk to him and go, guys,
Sure.
can we make this happen? I do not want to go home.
I
I'm not above begging.
I think they could have gotten Gabe out.
Yeah.
She did.
Push it.
I think Caroline, if you got
can.
Caroline and Kyle, I think you could have gotten Gabe.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have told Sue, but
No.
because then she'd just tell Gabe and whatever, and maybe she'd play her idol on Gabe. But like,
True, but it's just like you have to freaking fight for your life.
oh man, yeah.
And she has to be looking back at this episode. It's got to be an absolute gut punch.
I think it was kind of immediate. When she left, she was crying
even when she saw the third one,
Yeah.
like she totally blacked out.
Yeah.
Because she gets up, starts going, comes back because she forgot her bag and her shoes, and
I don't know why she was so confident. Like,
I don't either.
She-
But I guess it's the same thing.
because
with
yeah, it's
Monica.
like the first one you're kind of expecting, and then the second one she's like, oh f, like,
yeah, as you should.
I'm done.
But I must say, this season has been really, really kind of raw to see like Annika get blown up. Now Tiana
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
crushed.
Yeah.
And I get it. Like, you want to win, you think you can win, and then you get blindsided. It's got to be a real kick.
Yeah, for sure.
Gosh.
For sure. But like in a lot of cases, I don't know. It from the seat of seeing it all, I'm like, how did you not know? Like, or how did you feel anything was off? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's just like you cannot be the first one sitting down in this instance.
No.
You have to be the last one sitting down.
Yeah.
Because
For sure.
that last word is really critical.
For sure. For sure.
And especially when you got Kyle and freaking Carolyn right there. Yeah. It's like, go talk to him.
Yeah, right?
Do anything you bloody can.
Right?
You can't. Like, So that was kind of frustrating to watch.
That was.
And going back real quick, watching Rachel exit, they panned in on Carolyn, and she was just like, staring daggers.
Yeah.
Because it's like, there goes our plan. Suck.
Yep. It was great.
Oh my
It
gosh.
was so great. I loved it. That's what I like. I like chaos. I like that.
Yeah.
Like it makes it fun because just to see the people scrambling, like, oh crap, what are we gonna do now?
Exactly.
I liked it.
And so, yeah, this is probably one of the funnest episodes we've seen in a while.
Yeah, for sure. And then I don't know. I was watching it. I didn't have any preview for next week.
I watched it 3 times, and I also, it says, stay tuned for scenes from our next episode.
But then it doesn't show anything.
Goes right to Tiana.
Yeah.
And so we are in the dark.
Yeah. Nothing to go off of.
Yeah.
So
maybe more chaos. I sure hope so.
all right. So who do you think is going to get immunity? And do you think it'll be individual? Or are they going to do a team thing? And who's going to get the boot?
There's 11 left.
Yeah.
Honestly, I still feel like Kyle's going to win immunity. He's been doing really good. Like, if it's some endurance or some...
Yeah.
I don't know how he'd do on puzzles yet, but if there's something athletic...
It's got to be some... Because I feel like it's been kind of more endurance stuff. There's got to be like some type of a puzzle thing.
Yeah, or word puzzle. But I'll go with Kyle winning again.
Okay.
Like, I feel like who's going to give him a challenge? Like Sam and Gabe?
Could,
maybe on the
Gabe
boys'
could.
side?
I think Caroline could, depending on what it is. Because I think she was good at puzzles, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, I'm just going to go with Kyle. I think he'll win in the third one.
All right.
How about you?
I'm gonna go with. I think Gabe will get it.
Okay.
I think Gabe will get immunity. Okay, who's gonna get
Booted?
Get the boot.
Honestly, I think Andy's gonna put his foot in a hornet's nest somewhere and totally blow up his own game, and he's gonna get the
literally
boot.
as well.
Yeah.
Put it in a hornet's nest.
An ant field. I just think Andy's gonna get the boot. Like, I'm sorry, he's like Genevieve today. Why are you searching for an idol? Like, we're supposed to be partners, and you go do that. Like,
and that's
advantage.
That's where I'm a little worried for Genevieve if Andy blows up her game too, because I could see that happening.
But I do trust in Genevieve more to do damage control
for sure.
than him.
For sure.
And so I think he's just going to blow it up, and he is going home.
Yeah, I can see that happen.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Who do you think's going home?
Gosh, man. Yeah, I could see that happening, or I could also see like the other side of it if he doesn't blow it up and like kind of things get going, and I could see Sam getting voted out. Just as like a threat and from like the other people. So so I'm gonna go with Sam.
Okay. Two gotta.
Yeah.
Nada. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. If it goes usual, like a usual Survivor, like they'll probably do a reward, split them. One person sits out and bets on one team to win.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that'll be fun. But yeah, that's kind of all I got.
Yeah. Well, let us know what your predictions are for. I guess it's in 2 days here. It's coming up quick.
Don't forget to vote.
Yeah.
Get out there and vote.
Yeah.
If there's
nothing tomorrow,
that's something. If there's nothing else wilder than Survivor, it's this election season. If you want to see some George Costanzas and whatnot out there, oh man, just tune in. There's some, oh my gosh, some great gaffes, great memes. I don't care who you vote for, but get out there and vote. It's a good thing.
Agreed. Agreed.
Oh, Twitter's the greatest for all of it too.
Yes.
All right, man. Well, Tron, you're not going to be here the next couple weeks, correct?
That's correct. That's correct. I'll be taking off. So
he is going to the birth land of Hobbitville.
Hobbiton. Yes.
Oh, Hobbiton.
Yes.
And also the land of where the summit was filmed.
Yeah.
That is where he's headed.
Yep.
Which is exciting.
New Zealand for a bit, and then I'll be back short little stint, and I'll be in Mexico for a week. So I'm gonna be out.
I might be rolling
for a
solo.
while. Yeah.
You might just have to text me your thoughts, and I will relay them to the public.
I won't have time to watch, but
oh yeah.
but
you know what?
Yeah.
Duly noted.
Maybe
when you come back,
text me your thoughts.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll just go, dude, you're not gonna believe this.
Yes.
That is true. So we're greatly gonna miss Tron, but he will be back, and he will be 1 year older and wiser.
Indeed.
Which we're looking forward to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And so.
All right.
Well, guys, thanks. We'll see you next week, and yo ho ho.